Welcome to KNV TV. I am V.
I am Kay.
And today we're talking about Lauren the Mortician and Janette Braun.
Mm-hmm.
So Lauren the Mortician started her TikTok channel doing skits and answering questions about her profession, being a mortician.
Yeah.
She would use a Beetlejuice calling card, so like if people commented Beetlejuice in the comment section, she'd show up and review your video or react or whatever. Due to this and her being a parent herself, Lauren eventually began reviewing children's safety products like life jackets and car seats. Most notably, the Gray Coat Turn to Me car seat, a swiveling infant car seat Lauren implied that, in her opinion, was unsafe.
Okay. Her opinion.
That's where the Jamie Grayson enters the chat. So the Jamie Grayson is a child passenger safety technician. He made a video in response to Lauren, letting her know, just like, he was really polite in this video, right? I've seen it. He let her know that any seat, if used incorrectly, is going to be unsafe for your child.
Which is true.
I'm sorry if you hear the train in the background. Rude! He also essentially told her that she was out of her depth, right? This is not her profession. She doesn't really know what she's talking about. She should probably stay in her lane.
Right. Like a man who's trained. A man who does this for a living.
Lauren proceeded to make a very long-winded Facebook post. And I'm gonna read the whole thing to you.
For quote?
Word for word.
Read it.
Honest question. Would you take baby product advice from a man who has no children, has 12 to 15 strollers inside their living room, also attempts to give baby wearing and baby carrier product recommendations to actual mothers?
If he has training for it and it's his job, yes.
Just wondering, hypothetically and all, because I sure the fuck wouldn't. Especially when they link these products conveniently in their bio for you to purchase, so they make commission and gain financially from that.
Isn't that kind of how a job works?
What?
Isn't that kind of how doing your job works?
Oh, I thought you said that's how a child works.
No, how a job works.
Yeah, making commission off of selling the product that
you're reviewing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real. Never having used the products with a physical baby on a day-to-day basis. Not me neither. Just checking. Lauren the Mortician wants us to test child safety on actual children. Allegedly.
No, thank you.
I would rather we not test if car seats are safe for babies by putting living, breathing babies in them.
Yeah, thanks. That's
my preference.
Kind of not at all.
To each their own, I suppose. The statement also implies that for some reason, this man just nefariously has 12 to 15 strollers sitting in his living room.
Just chilling.
As if he's not selling them. As if checking their safety is not his profession.
As if he didn't, literally.
I would also like to add on that the Jamie Grayson is not only certified in the USA, but Canada as well. So, like, he's been doing this for a while. Wow. He knows what he's talking about.
Right. And he's certified. Has been tested, has taken classes. Like,
yeah, I would take his word far before. Far before. Whatever.
Either way.
I'm done with that sentence. I didn't like how it tasted. Although it is unclear if the situation.
That one tastes bad too.
Absolutely disgusting. It is unclear if this situation was the catalyst or not. Shortly after the situation with the Jamie Grayson, more information showing Lauren's true colors would come to light. Screenshots showing Lauren allegedly liking homophobic and transphobic content.
Whoa.
When Lauren finally responded to the allegation, she admitted to following a member of an extremist group that is notorious for their anti-LGBTQIA+ views.
That's not okay.
No, for real. This person is known as the conservative aunt, and they themselves are well known for spreading lies and false narratives about the trans and gay communities.
Doesn't Lauren claim to be a safe space for everyone?
Oh, we'll get to that. She's not just a safe space, in her opinion, allegedly. Well, we'll get to it.
Whatever, girl.
In order to excuse her interactions with the harmful content, Lauren said she and conservative aunt are both members of the community.
Whoa.
So they can't be homophobic or transphobic.
That's not how that works, honey. Not how that works.
Two things can absolutely be true at the same time. Like, you can be homophobic and transphobic and be gay and trans. It's
at the same time. All of those could literally be true all at once.
She went on to claim that the only reason anyone was even questioning her actions was because of the Jamie Grayson, and that he was starting a hate campaign against her.
What the fuck?
So, I want you to keep that in mind throughout the entire rest of all of this. This started because Lauren didn't like what the Jamie Grayson had to say about her car seat review.
When he was very nice initially.
Yeah, she disagreed with his professional opinion. That's how this began. Okay? Here's where it gets insane.
People are going to be like, what the heck? It gets worse?
By this point, people already know. If you don't know.
Now you know.
That too. Well, from what I could tell, one of the people who would call Lauren out for these interactions on Instagram would be another TikTok user known as Caffeinated Kitty. Kitty had been using a similar Beetlejuice calling card, and it led to viewers becoming confused between who is the Beetlejuice lady.
Oh my gosh.
So Kitty decided to make a video simply distinguishing herself from Lauren. She clarified that she did not believe that Lauren copied her by using the Beetlejuice gimmick.
No, of course, it's a 90s movie.
No, for real. You say Beetlejuice 3 times, he shows up.
Everybody knows.
But she did allude to Lauren possibly swiping the Morbid Minute, a popular segment on her TikTok page, from another creator known as Ask a Mortician, or Caitlin Doherty.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. And how do we think the ever-mature Lauren responded to Kitty's video?
Oh, boy.
Well, she hired a TikTok attorney by the name of Janette Braun, who then
Did you say a TikTok attorney?
A TikTok attorney. Say that 3 times fast.
TikTok attorney, TikTok attorney, TikTok attorney. What the?
Mm-hmm. By the name of Janette Braun. One thing we should all know about Janette right off the bat is Janette does not like to be called Janette. Because we're not on a first name basis. And she really doesn't like being called Janet. Allegedly. We'll get
Janet.
into it. Please don't sue us. Who then filed 3 completely insane cease and desist letters. Copyright claimed one of Kitty's videos and sent the police to Kitty's home for a wellness check.
A wellness check?
A wellness check.
For what?
Mental health.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's more to this. I'll be quiet.
Janette also attempted to send a cease and desist letter to Kitty and her mother, a theater company that Kitty hadn't worked for in years, and her mother didn't work for at all. In the said cease and desist meant for Kitty's mother, Janette put down an old address where Kitty's mother no longer lived, as well as sent the cease and desist to a completely wrong email address. Essentially, Janette gave out sensitive personal information about Kitty and her mother to God knows who.
To literally everyone and their mother.
And yeah, about her and her mother. Allegedly. But Janette allegedly didn't stop there either. She went to send Kitty one of the most unprofessional emails I have ever read. In this email, Janette claims Kitty seemed unwell and demanded she remove any and all content mentioning Lauren and issue a public apology to her. She goes on to demand all of Kitty's insurance information as well as her team's information, such as their addresses, emails, social media handles, etc.
Whoa.
Janette tells Kitty she is spiraling and asks her to have a trusted member of her support system to read the rest of the letter, as it may trigger her.
Who is she to determine what's going to trigger her or not?
Honestly. And then remarks that she does not like Kitty referring to her as Janette, as they are not on a first name basis.
Good for you. So it's not illegal for someone to call you something you don't like.
No, for real. Here's to you, Janette. Cheers. Kitty shared all of this in a video on TikTok, where she also states she believes that this was all an attempt to threaten to dox her. Janette took it upon herself to release a video responding to the situation, in which she claims she did not copyright strike Kitty's video, and that she couldn't if she wanted to, because that was the platform's responsibility, not hers. Also keep in mind that Janette is specifically like a copyright attorney. Like copyright and defamation, I believe.
Right.
I may have that wrong. She also said that the request to remove a video can also not be false, as she is required to provide evidence, and the platform is then required to review and process that request, either approving or denying it. So, for one, Janette's evidence in these copyright claims were random, just like timestamps in the video, but if you click on these timestamps, they're weird things that aren't even her content or Lauren's content. They're like title cards and shit. Like shit does not belong to Janette or Lauren. Like,
right.
Absolutely has nothing to do with her. So, wrong. Also, Janette is completely ignoring the fair use law. Do you know what fair use is?
No.
So fair use means that you can use copyrighted material as long as you change it in a way that is transformative.
Okay.
So like commentary, you can use other people's stuff and comment on their
right. The way they're doing whatever they're doing, or
on their like material, on their copyrighted whatever.
Like when you duet something,
right? Or you can take it and you can like fan fiction, like taking it and altering it into your own thing.
Right. What if you like add stuff into it, like scenes or like cuts?
It depends on to what degree.
Okay.
Right. So like that's why cases like this in a court of law, a judge would look at it and determine whether or not your use of the original media was transformative enough.
Okay.
But
to be something
I
like
saw Kitty's video. Like I've personally seen it, and it's completely transformative.
Okay.
Like
she's like talking throughout the whole thing.
Probably. Yeah, there's not even a question.
Okay, cool.
Janette's
out of pocket.
Out of pocket, absolutely. Not even allegedly. She's being out of pocket for sure.
Stay in your lane, bitch. Allegedly.
Also, not to mention the fact that platforms constantly have like errors with this. People flagging videos for false like copyright claims, and then the platform takes it down, and then they review it and they go, oh. Actually, oopsies.
Sorry.
It's fine. And then they throw it back up.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah, it happens
all the time.
I keep smacking.
It's happened to me before, actually.
No, it happens literally all the time.
About a sound that TikTok had on TikTok. They're like, oh, you're copywriting. I'm like, you gave me this sound.
No, for real. Jeanette goes on to state that because her claim was not denied, it therefore cannot be false, despite, again, countless cases of platform errors and faulty systems resulting in videos being taken down and then put back up. Right?
Right.
Just ignores all of that. Then finally, Lauren responds. In her response video, she states, or rather admits, that she was the one who called the cops for a wellness check on Kitty.
What the?
Yeah.
She herself?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't even know this lady.
No, for real. We'll get into that. So later, the calls were released.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so we'll get into that.
Oh, shit.
She also says there are things that she can't talk about due to legal reasons, and people are putting her face on blast and making poor videos that are lies about her.
Girl, what?
Thinking they'll one-up each other. Like the drama channels will one-up each other.
Nobody cares about that.
Right? She goes on that she will just expose herself and tell you what she did and why she did it. She says that she has been dealing with online stalking, bullying, harassment, as well as doxing to the point that a normal person would unalive themselves. She goes on to claim that she had to get the police involved and make a report. Lauren then says this all started over a dumb campaign to get her canceled over some stuff she liked on Instagram.
Girl, it wasn't just some stuff you liked on Instagram.
Honestly. She said she isn't a TERF. And that she follows left and right wing creators. And can even like something if she doesn't agree with it.
What?
Typically, if I, like, deep in my heart and soul strongly do not agree with something, especially if it is harmful
to another person or to anybody. People that are, like, already vulnerable. Like,
yeah, it's especially my own community.
Right.
Like, that's...
Right.
No.
Sorry, YouTube. Heck no.
She goes on to claim she was sent an email that said if she did not own up to being transphobic, more defamatory content was going to be made about her to continue this hate campaign, and that this person was not her fan. And we'll come back to the email shortly. Lauren then states she immediately sent the email to Janette, who then sent them the cease and desist letter. So this is one of the people who received a cease and desist. Lauren then claims that Kitty emailed Janette directly and tried to blackmail her. She says Kitty made it clear, whatever that means, that she was working with the anonymous emailer to extort and blackmail Lauren together. This is because the anonymous emailer had reached out to Kitty after receiving the cease and desist from Janette. So they're now working together.
They're conspiring against her because they're talking about getting the same letter.
Right. Well, so Kitty, I don't believe, had gotten a cease and desist at that point.
Oh, okay. But still, either way,
right.
Somebody's talking about something you did, so they're conspiring.
Right. She also says Janette never said Kitty would face jail time if she didn't give her a public apology, which will come up again later, so keep that in mind as well. Jail time, anonymous email. And that Kitty put out her video to hurt Lauren and gather the masses against her. She says if Kitty only wanted to clarify that she wasn't Lauren, then she would have done so without bringing to light Lauren liking trans and homophobic content. Lauren goes on to say, we, the viewers, only have one side of the story, and that others are cherry-picking what they want to tell you, and you're believing it.
So why don't you just tell us?
Yeah, she's blissfully ignoring the fact that this is her first response since that Facebook post. Like, this is her first time talking about it.
Right. Like, come on, girl. You can't expect us to have both sides if you don't.
Yeah, this is your side. Tell it.
Give it to us straight.
Lauren addresses the call to the police by claiming she called the non-emergency line because Kitty had previously made jokes about demonic behavior, drinking blood, eating organs, etc., and that no one in their reasonable mind would make that type of content.
What?
In my humble Satanist opinion, I think we need way more media representation.
100%.
It's disrespectful. Like, you're gonna call the authorities on me because I don't believe in Jesus? Really?
Or because I believe in things different from you? Or because I make jokes different from you? I'm sorry, bro, but, like, unless somebody's making a joke about directly harming themselves or somebody else, it's none of your business.
Well, keep that in mind. We'll come back to that. Lauren also says that this does not constitute swatting. Like, this is not swatting in her opinion. Do you know what swatting is?
Sort of.
So, traditionally, swatting is when the SWAT team busts down your door. Like, breaks in.
That's what I initially thought.
Right. So, online swatting is when a bunch of people call the police on you. So
okay.
the police, like a bunch
show
of police
up at your house.
Depending on the situation, I've heard that they'll like have a bunch of guns, maybe not.
Jeez.
I don't know. I've never been and hope to never be swatted. So
yeah, please don't swat us.
I don't want to know personally. I'm good not knowing that much detail.
Yeah, that would suck.
To a degree, I don't believe it's swatting. Because
well, if you're the only person calling, then...
Exactly, and that's why. Because only 2 people called, and it wasn't like a bunch of cops showed up with guns drawn.
Right.
It was a wellness check.
Right.
But I think weaponizing someone's assumed mental health against them is almost worse than swatting someone, in my opinion.
No, yeah. Yeah. I think weaponizing somebody's mental health, assumed or not, is honestly probably either way worse than swatting someone. I mean... Yeah,
and also,
especially... like in comparison to swatting somebody with mental health issues versus someone who is neurotypical. Because a neurotypical is just going to be like, oh, ha, ha, ha.
I don't know if Lauren, the mortician, is neurotypical, though.
No.
She goes on to say that she called out of a place of genuine concern and goes on to say that she has seen people spiral and lose it, and the aftermath, as well as the aftermath of unaliving oneself, which is an absolutely appalling and shameful implication to make about someone in their mental health.
Oh, right.
Like, that's disgusting. Like, you don't know caffeinated kitty.
No, at all.
Like,
even watching somebody's every single TikTok does not give you enough of an idea about who they are, like, to think that you can do something like that or say something like that.
No, absolutely not. She goes on to claim she was genuinely concerned because she thought Kitty was going to do something to herself or someone else, and that nothing Kitty was talking about was rational.
Did she say directly that she was going to hurt herself or somebody else?
No. And this...
Then, yep.
It comes up later. Kitty's fans and herself have commented multiple times that this is a regular thing for Kitty. This is her sense of humor.
Right.
And it's made very clear that it's jokes on her channel. Like, if you watch her content, you know it's a joke.
Right.
And if you... The girls who get it. The girls who don't. And I'm sorry, but I've seen some of them. It's funny.
Right.
Like, if you don't already, you should follow Caffeinated Kitty because it's hilarious. I like it. I think she's funny.
It's like dark humor, right?
And it's not even... Yeah, but it's not, like, even super dark. She, like, talks about barking at men.
Oh, okay.
If they like, approach her unwanted.
I like that.
Like, no, yeah, it's entirely my sense of humor. It's good, and I'm sorry, it's not that bad. Lauren and Janette make it seem so much worse than it really is.
Okay.
It's insane. Now let's go back to that anonymous emailer, right? So this anonymous This anonymous emailer reached out to a TikToker known as Becca Day. So Becca Day kind of speaks on behalf of the anonymous emailer. Okay. So Becca Day releases
Does this person have a platform? Like a good...
TikTok.
Well, that's not what I mean. Like a...
Yes, a large platform.
There we go.
The anonymous
That's
emailer,
the word that I missed.
As well, the anonymous emailer also has a platform. They are also a TikToker. I'm not sure how big, obviously.
Okay.
But that is one of the reasons they wanted to remain anonymous. Right?
Okay.
So they were notified by the anonymous emailer that they had attempted to email Lauren directly in regards to the transphobic and homophobic rumors and allegations. Right?
Right.
This person was also allegedly a fan of Lauren's and a well-known TikToker themselves. This anonymous party was also promptly sent an absolutely bonkers cease and desist we will come back to in a little bit. This anonymous user had also reached out to Kitty after receiving said cease and desist. Becca Day posted a video reading the email that had been sent to Lauren. The email acknowledges it could be a mistake, but she wouldn't try so hard to hide it if she wasn't guilty.
Right.
You know, liking the stuff on Instagram.
scares me.
They ask her to clear the slate before more videos and evidence come forward. They tell her she can keep dodging questions or act like a grown-up and address it, but that blocking people asking questions is harmful and silencing them.
Yeah.
And that her actions got her into this position. The email goes on to say they will not allow Lauren to keep exploiting the gay community for clout. And if
Facts.
the LGBTQIA community is not welcome in her spaces, she should make that known.
Yeah, she needs to be clear and upfront.
Finger snaps.
Yes.
Anonymous emailer.
We love you.
The email ends with "Have a good day. Thank you," which is way more polite than I would have ended my email.
No, same.
In this situation.
Especially after all this, like at this point in the situation.
The video also contains screenshots of the cease and desist letter Janette sent to Dear Anonymous Emailer. In these screenshots, you can see Janette demand they stop their malicious activities, including emails, posts on Reddit, other social media, blackmail, harassing, extortion, defaming, and false claims. It also includes the legal definition of harassment that states you can spend up to 5 years in prison, which Lauren explicitly said was never mentioned.
What the fuck?
Janette also demands a public apology recanting all of the false information and that they had 72 hours to comply or they would pursue...
False information?
Yeah.
There's
what
proof.
False information?
There's proof.
Yeah, they've only posted screenshots and told their accounts.
Like,
what
come on.
False information? And that they had 72 hours to comply or they would pursue legal action to remedy the damages they have caused.
The damages that Lauren has caused.
Now let's go over the 911 calls.
911, what's your emergency?
The calls begin with Lauren requesting a wellness check, off the bat, to be done, and giving dispatch Kitty's address. I saw some people question how she knew Kitty's address. However, Kitty suspects they gained this information from the video that Janette had copyright stricken.
Oh, okay.
Because when a video is copyright stricken, you have to give them certain information in case legal action is pursued.
Taken. Right.
When dispatch asks for her name, Lauren requests to stay anonymous, despite later confirming she was the one who called. Lauren tells dispatch, "This girl is spiraling," and then chuckles.
What the fuck?
The dispatcher says, "Okay, you're going to have to give me something. What's the relationship with this person?" And I think it is absolutely telling just how confused the dispatcher sounds during the call. It also made my stomach churn to hear her chuckling about the situation after claiming she had been receiving death threats and that she thought that Kitty was genuinely like going to harm herself or someone else.
Like, come on, dude, you're gonna laugh about that?
Yeah, honestly, how funny is it to call a wellness check on a stranger when you yourself believe that a life may be on the line?
And maybe even your own, quote unquote.
Allegedly. I would also like to point out how coached and rehearsed the calls sound. They use really, like, eerily similar verbiage.
Oh, great.
Like
almost word for word, or like just really clearly like they spoke to each other.
I'm gonna play them for you.
Okay.
So just process for now. Lauren then says she has a presence online. She is blackmailing people online. She is threatening people. She is on Reddit. She is on TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
She's acting erratically. Her comments online are wild. Despite having her legal name and physical address, Lauren is unable to provide Kitty's birthday. Which I point out because I believe it adds to credibility that to Kitty's claim that they gained the information from the copyright strike in order to threaten to dox her, because you wouldn't get Kitty's birthday. You would get the year and possibly the month, but you wouldn't get her birthday. But you would get her address.
Yep. And her legal name.
Mm-hmm. Lauren goes on to describe Kitty's online behavior as leaving comments, threatening people, blackmailing people, being on Reddit, trying to gather people together to go after people, erratic and irrational. Dispatch then interrupts her to ask Lauren again how she knows Kitty exactly, to which Lauren replies, or ask her again how she knows Kitty exactly, to which she replies, no, it's just someone she knows online.
Oh.
Lauren then claims she is worried Kitty might hurt herself or others, and Dispatch asks if she has ever mentioned hurting herself or others, to which Lauren says, no.
What?
Lauren claims the content Kitty is posting isn't normal for her, to which Dispatch asks, so you actually know her? And Lauren, of course, can only say from online.
From online. No, then you don't know that that's not normal for her.
Dispatch clarifies Lauren does not want to leave her name, and Lauren is adamant she does not want to leave her name. She wants to remain anonymous. Now, to be clear, I couldn't find out who placed their call first, so I'm going to give you a little conspiracy. This is all alleged based on absolutely zero evidence, and it's all my own creation, so...
all her own delusion.
It's all a joke. It's all a joke. Just take the jokes, Janette and Lauren. Just take it.
Just laugh and go about your day.
I think, based on zero evidence, that they were sitting in like a room together or maybe on FaceTime, and they're like, no, you do it first.
No, you
place the call. No, you do it. No, so okay, so when she picks up, this is what you say. No, I'm too scared. You call first.
You say this.
No, you do it. Janette begins her call to the police by dropping that she is a federal attorney for the state of Illinois.
Oh.
Right off the bat.
Good for you.
She then claims Katie... I disagree. At this point, nobody cares. She then claims Kitty is acting irrationally and posting wild things online. Janette then says, it really looks like she's having a mental crisis and needs help. And they should check on her and make sure she doesn't hurt herself or even will, and then she kind of trails off. And then is unsurprisingly able to give the dispatcher Katie's address. Dispatch asks what exactly Katie is posting, and Janette says that she is posting on TikTok and Reddit, blackmailing people and being extremely irrational and extorting people. I found it interesting she neglects to add that this is all allegedly happening to her client, right? But we'll come back to that later. She says the emails she received from Kitty was full of blackmail and extortion. What? And says she is sending it to the FBI, which Janette, come close to me, love. The FBI does not give a single solitary fuck about your little case. They do not care.
Not even a little.
I promise.
They might chuckle at it.
They will find B.D. Cooper before they care about Janette Braun's little defamation lawsuit.
Facts.
Janette goes on to reiterate almost the exact same point Lauren did in her call, and that she is a barred attorney. She then makes a comment that is just off the walls stupid. She says she thinks she has an obligation to report when she sees erratic behavior as an officer of the court.
What? So why aren't you calling about all of the erratic behavior you see?
No, for real. Every single Karen, watch out for Janette. She is coming for your manager.
If you're in a hurry on the road, make sure Janette's not around.
When dispatch finally agrees to send someone out, Janette tells them what floor Kitty lives on, her birthday, and gives the
her birthday?
Not her date, but the birthday. And gives a physical description, all without any prompting.
What the fuck?
Dispatch did not ask, sis.
Did not care.
So, having heard the calls, your opinions.
What the fuck? At the front door. What the front door?
No, for real.
You people do not know her. You don't know her. You watched a few of her TikToks and you assumed you knew what her mental health was like? Come on.
But so what did you think about Lauren's laughing?
Oh my god, it made me so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know how anybody could talk about somebody they supposedly actually care for having a mental health crisis and giggling about it.
So from devil advocate point of view, okay, so you could argue that she's like awkward or uncomfortable or in shock.
Yeah, but that didn't sound like that.
No, and I would argue why. Because somebody posted a video saying she was liking stuff online.
Right.
Or because somebody else posted a video saying that she was out of her depth reviewing a car seat.
Right.
I'm sorry, but what shock? Shock from what?
What?
From the death threats that aren't coming from Caffeinated Kitty? I would also like to talk about several other podcasts and YouTubers who have become involved in the situation due to talking about the situation. So, Lily and Jesse from the Do We Know Them podcast, Paige Christie, and Cece Suarez. In Cece Suarez's video, she not only covered the Lauren the Mortician situation regarding, Jets, but she also talked about Janette's other clients. One of which being Bunny XO. Janette had this video copyright stricken.
Oh, okay.
And it was denied because the video fell under fair use.
Right.
Janette seemingly didn't like that response and went on to threaten Google and YouTube and claimed they did not have jurisdiction to decide if something fell under fair use or not. She also demanded YouTube freeze all of Cece's funds until the end of court proceedings, to which Google and YouTube both responded with an automated email basically saying no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it in the user terms and agreements that they are the ones who determine like what's okay and what's not to post and what's...
I'm not sure if it's in there like that, but Janette...
Nobody reads that
keep
shit,
in mind,
so of course we don't know for sure, but
keep in mind, Janette is the one that said it was up to the platform to decide if something constituted fair use earlier, but now it's not.
Doesn't.
Now that it's not in her benefit.
Way.
Yeah. When Janette filed copyright strike Cece's video, she did so as if she was acting on Bunny's behalf. So it was filed under Bunny's Dumb Blonde LLC. Right? So it's as if Bunny was trying to copyright strike that video.
Right.
Not Janette. When Cece brought this to light, Bunny commented, "Why is my name being brought into this? I never tried to have one of your videos taken down, girly. Take care." It would later be confirmed through another comment left by Bunny that this was the reason that she chose to fire or stop working with Janette.
Oh, shit.
But this wouldn't be the only L for Janette as a result of Cece's videos. Another client mentioned in Cece's videos was the owner of an online store.
Mm-hmm.
Janette allegedly gave this person some questionable legal advice.
Did they say what kind?
Oh, yeah. She also at one time had this video up as legal advice on her TikTok page.
Whoa.
Allegedly. And what would that illegal advice be? Well, Janette suggested that this person add one of those pop-up screens where you have to consent to it in order to shop on the store, right? But instead of being a normal, like, we use cookies in this browser,
right?
This, like, consent form would state that anyone who is purchasing from the store could not leave a bad review on any platform.
Whoa.
You could not say a bad thing about anything you purchased, about the store, about its staff. Nothing.
That's not legal.
That's not legal.
No.
As a consumer, you have the right to review the things that you purchase.
In a honest way.
Yes, and you have that protected right legally.
Right.
And no business, for any reason, can tell you otherwise.
Right.
And if you thought that there was going to be a silver lining, or that I'd ask what you make of all of this, and then tell you to be on your way, then you haven't heard about the lawsuit. Now, I'm no attorney, so I won't be covering the lawsuit as in depth as you might be expecting, but I do want to cover it. If I get something wrong or I don't explain it very well, I do apologize, and I highly recommend the Runkle of the Bailey or the Mad Catster, as they are actual attorneys and are far more equipped to talk about this subject. Just like the Jamie Grayson was more equipped to talk about car seat safety.
Yes.
Janette and Lauren filed a completely insane defamation lawsuit against Caffeinated Kitty, Becca Day, Lily Marsden, and Jesse Vasquez. From what I could tell, Kitty's basically being sued for making a video calling out Lauren for interacting with trans and homophobic content and saying she doesn't like Janette.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Fair.
Right, I'm dumbing this down quite a bit because I don't know legalese. Becca is being sued for making videos discussing the situation and including images of Janette's emails in her videos. Janette's claiming that those are copyrighted for some reason.
They're legal.
You sent them to anonymous user who sent them to Becca Day.
Like, anonymous user gave Becca Day permission to use them. It's not up to you anymore.
And Jesse and Lily are being sued for making videos talking about the situation on their podcast and for saying Janet instead of Janette in their podcast videos.
Which also isn't illegal.
No, it's not. I hate to tell you, Janette, sorry.
Allegedly.
Some important information before we continue. In the USA, if you want to sue someone from another state, none of the plaintiffs can be citizens of the same state as any of the defendants. For example, if Joe wants to sue John and Josh, he can do so as long as Joe is not a citizen of the same state as John or Josh, right? Citizen being the key word here. To be a resident of a state means that you have been given allowance or permission to live or exist within that state. You can live in any state in the USA, but you would have to file for naturalization and go through the naturalization process. Confusing, I know, but very important for what we're going to be talking about. Now, in the lawsuit, Janette and Lauren's attorney did not list Jesse's address due to reasons I won't be discussing. If you know, you know. Jesse would later come forward and remark that her place of residence is already public information. Not like the exact address, I don't think, but she had already posted a video talking about moving to the state of Georgia.
Right.
Lauren is listed as being a resident and citizen of the state of Wisconsin. Kitty is listed as being a resident and citizen of the state of Georgia.
Oh, jeez.
Becca is listed as being a resident and citizen of the state of Missouri. And Lily is being listed as being a resident and citizen of the state of California. Janette, however, is listed as being licensed to practice law in Illinois and operating the law firm Braun Law in DuPage County, Illinois, and resides in Illinois on a part-time basis. I'm sure based on that alone, you can guess what the judge's response was. And it was that they needed to be more clear and tell the court who operates out of Braun Law and where they are residents and citizens of.
Right.
So Janette filed a judicial statement correcting the information they failed to clarify the first time, as well as a new motion to seal private information such as their addresses and Kitty's legal name, which seems nice enough, right? If it weren't for the fact that Kitty's legal name is mentioned near lines later, or pages, I believe.
Gosh.
Janette also clarifies that she is a resident and citizen of the state of Illinois, although she owns property in South Carolina where she resides for part of the year. This was one of the things that the judge directly asked her to clarify, and she still failed to do it.
Oh my god.
She couldn't just clearly state, I'm a resident and citizen of the state of Illinois. Why'd you have to add South Carolina? What?
No, at all.
Do you live there? Are you a resident there? The part about this that speaks the most to me is that Lauren's address took up one line, right? Whereas Janette's is about 6 paragraphs of just waffling nonsense. That is the degree that Janette is going to, I guess, conceal where she resides.
Oh my god.
Another key note about this supposed law firm being run out of Illinois is the address Janette put down. in this filing. When people looked up the address Janette had listed for the law firm, the only thing that came up was a UPS store.
What the?
Yeah.
It's like a post, or what are those things called?
Post office?
No, the P.O. box.
Yeah. And you can also like mail stuff, buy boxes.
Yeah.
Essentially. But that begs the question, why does Janette seem so desperate to keep the lawsuit in Illinois? Well, there are many theories. One theory comes from Runkle of the Bailey. He suspects that Janette and Lauren's attorney is doing this as a favor, and they want to keep it in Illinois to keep travel costs as low as possible. Another being that if the lawsuit is moved to another state like California, it would be dismissed due to California's strict anti-SLAPP laws.
Yeah.
So, I say Janette and Lauren's attorney because Lauren and Janette are now being represented by one of Janette's college buddies in this lawsuit.
Gosh.
So, Janette is no longer just representing Lauren. Janette's buddy is representing Janette and Lauren.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine hiring an attorney who got you into so much trouble? They had to hire an attorney for the both of you? I would be terrified.
Don't hire TikTok attorneys, you guys, allegedly.
How screwed do you think Lauren feels right now?
No, literally.
Like, I would be terrified.
Allegedly.
You put your hands into this woman's life, and now what?
Now you're fucked.
Allegedly. Well, what do you guys make of all of this? Let us know down below, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.